Welcome back to my channel, Crafting with Nordy. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this notebook holder using gift wrap paper for the outside. Now this is one that I did about a year ago, and we used pattern cardstock for the inside. We created some pockets in here. It does hold this composition notebook, so there's a pocket back here to slide that into. The outside is gift wrap paper. And today, the one that we're going to be making is this one. And we're using a little bit bigger composition notebook and some pattern cardstock that has some texture to it as well. But the outside is gift wrap paper. So let's get started. Okay, so to get started, you need 2 pieces of chipboard that are cut to 8 by 10.5, and you will have a cutoff piece that's a 1/2 inch by 10.5, and you need that for your spine, okay? And then to cover that, we're gonna be using this gift wrapping paper, and this one, I really like it. It's the Martha Stewart brand, but I really like it a lot because it's textured and it's thick, and I don't know if you can tell the texture, but there's texture on there, and it's really pretty. It's thick, it's strong. It doesn't feel thin like, you know, the dollar store gift wrap paper is really thin, and this one's not like that. It's very sturdy. And I already wrapped a book with this brand already, and that was like last year, and it's still holding up just fine. You're also going to need some really strong double-sided tape of your choice, or glue. It's up to you, but I think the double-sided tape is going to be better because I haven't actually tried glue with this gift wrapping paper. You're also going to need some cardstock, and I'm going to be using this brand by Park Lane. I like this one. It's really pretty, but I'm not going to pronounce that. The paper is really, really pretty, and it is double-sided. So keep that in mind if you're going to use that paper. I like it a lot. I think it's really pretty. So this is just, you know, the front and backs of these ones that I'm using. So you're going to need a couple to line the inside of your book, and then you're also going to need some because we're going to cover the composition notebook that we're going to be putting inside the book also. And this one is from Office Depot, this composition notebook, and it's really flexible. I like it a lot, and it opens and lays open really well, and I mean it's really good. I like it a lot. But I mean, you can use the dollar store ones also. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this as well, like I said, with the cardstock also. All right, so first thing that we're going to do, wrap paper is actually going to be cut to 17 3/4 inches wide and 11.5 inches tall. So we want a 1/2 inch border to go all the way around, okay? So, and pay attention to your pattern, that it's the way that you want it to go, okay? Now this particular chipboard that I'm using, this one has a white side and the brown side. So I wanna make sure that that white side is facing down. In case the paper is a little bit see-through at all, I want to make sure, you know, it's clean. It's not you're not gonna see my writing or anything like that on it. Okay. And it's got all these little lines on here already, which is helpful because I can just line up to some of those. Okay. And I have this really wide tape that I'm using, and I'll leave it in the description below. I got it off of Amazon. It's like a huge pack of a bunch of different sizes, and it works really well. And it makes this process go so much faster. Just roughly, it's not going to be perfect. Okay. And I'm just going to use that to hold it down. So I'm just going to do my best here. And then I'm going to line everything up to that one. And I want about let's see, 1/8 of an inch in between from my spine and that cover piece. And it might not be perfect, but don't worry about it. I'm just going to use that roll that came with my Cricut just to get this pressed down as best I can. And now I'm going to tape all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to make a few little slits where it's going to fold over here. That way it just, hopefully it doesn't tear. And I want to fold my sides, I think, first. I'm going to go and take the tape off. And it's okay that there's still some tape sticking out right here, because that's all going to get covered anyways. As you can see, it looks really pretty. And I like the way it feels. I like that it has texture. Okay, so now we want to get our measurement for the inside. And what I want is, I want about an 1/8 inch border, at least, all the way around. So my paper's not gonna go all the way to the end. It's probably gonna stop about right here. Okay, so I'm actually gonna do 3 pieces for the inside here, and each piece needs to be 7 7/8 by 10 1/4, and that should give me my border that I want. But if it's too big, we can always trim it down. And my middle piece here that I'm gonna have going over this middle here is going to be 3 inches by 10 1/4 inches with the cardstock, okay? Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna just tape all of my paper. And if you have a little bit of tape sticking out, just fold it down. Come on, I get it. And make sure when you're actually taping the back, like I already took some tape off here, but that your tape is touching all the way through. That way, or at least butting up together. That way you don't see gaps. Because you can feel the tape underneath, and if there's gaps, you're gonna see those gaps through your paper. So just try to do as clean a job as you can do with your taping. I'm gonna use my roller. Doesn't always come out perfect. Make sure that your edges are really pushed down so you don't have any gaps. just gonna crease into those folds carefully. I don't want to tear anything. This is really thick paper. I mean, you can see it. It's thick. Okay, so we have this done now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create a pocket on the inside here, and it's going to line up like that, and I'll do a little notch out right here. But what's gonna happen is our notebook, our composite notebook, is actually going to be slid in there. I'll use the 1/2 inch on the side here, and then I think I'll use the 1/4 inch or so on the top and bottom. Okay, so just go ahead and line up your corners. And your edges here. Press. Okay. Now my pocket. Yeah, so I'm gonna come in 1 inch from the top left corner, and then I'm gonna come up 2 inches from the bottom right corner. And then I'm gonna line up those 2 points, and that's where I'm gonna cut. And that'll be my pocket. So I'm just gonna line it up right on the cut line at the top. At the top, and I don't know if you can see me in the camera. I think you can, okay. At the top here, and then at the bottom. And of course you could do this with scissors too. Okay. And so now I have my little pocket. I think it's gonna work okay. I don't know if this up here is gonna be a problem, because you have to account for the glue or the tape that you're gonna put here on the top and bottom, as far as getting things to fit in there. That's okay. Okay. Now, depending on the space in here, I didn't make this, the spine on this one as wide as I did on this one. I think this one's like 3/4 of an inch, and this one's only like 1/2 an inch. So you can see there's more space in here. So you can fit more papers, but there's also more space on the edge over here too. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see there's more of a gap, so you can fit more in here. And then you have like a gap here, and I mean, you can put something here to hold a pen if you want to. I think that's going to be probably the best place to put a pen. So you can do it like this. You can add more pockets if you want to for more separation. I think, you know, whatever you come up with, it's gonna look nice. But I think that came out really pretty. So that's that part of it. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and move on, and we're gonna cover this just so that it goes with the inside here. I just stick the paper all the way to the end, and then I give myself a 1/2 inch all the way around as well. And then that's where it's going to be taped down and taped over. And then I do the same thing on the back. And then we'll cover this back part again with some bookbinding tape, depending on, I only have black and white right now, so depending on what paper I use to cover this one, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I think I'm going to go with the black binding tape. I don't know. I think it'll look nice, but there's a lot of white here on the cover and stuff, so I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm liking that other one. This one. I think I'm liking this one to cover it, but I just don't know. I think I'll go with the black. I think it looks nice. What we're going to use, we can actually go 7.5 wide by, what did I say before? 10 3/4. So we're going to go 10 3/4. By 7.5. So we're going to get that 1/2 inch to fold over the top and the sides. Yeah. Okay. So the other one. Now you can just do the front of the book, and the back you can just do it a plain, because it's going to be tucked into your book anyways, and you're not going to see the back. So if you don't feel the need to cover the back, you don't have to. Okay. So I'm going to get taping here. And because the outside cover, there's like space here, you can even go with your outside cover another 1/8 of an inch, or a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch if you want to. That way when you open it, you don't have this gap right here. Because when we cover this, you see that gap? So that's just something to think about. Okay. are messed up there. I gotta pay better attention to my edges. Let's go there. Okay, so here's our book. And I kind of went through that, you know, not as carefully as I probably should have, but you get the gist. So we're gonna go ahead and I don't want to tear it. There it goes. And then just line it up. And I'm lined up right with that crease right there. Just break it in a little bit. Just something to keep in mind, you gotta account for the thickness of the tape that you're using when you're putting it in there. So even though we're putting the paper all the way to the end, you got to account for the tape that's going in there, because the book is going to meet where that, as you can see, this is where the tape is at. You can see how it's like pressing down, but you can see where the book is at as well. So you have to account for that, for the tape that you're putting in there. So you still got to make sure that your book is going to fit in there. And that's about 1/4 of an inch to half, you know, of spacing right here. But as far as the edge of the book goes, it's about 1/2 inch from the top and the bottom. So you make the book about close to an inch or 3/4 to an inch bigger, higher or taller than the actual book itself. And then, you know, you just kind of figure how much spacing you want from the edge. And I have to account for the tape coming in here as well. So that's why we have such a gap also right here, because if I didn't give myself a border for one, then the tape could come all the way up to here. But because we wanted a little bit of a border, I wanted a little bit of a border in here, I set my paper back. So then that sets the tape in here back. And so then that sets the book back. So you have to account for that also. But I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks fine to have that gap right here, to have the spacing in here. And it does leave room for, you know, putting a pin or something like in here. I like how this is looking. Yeah, that's cute. And I really like this journal. Like I said, I got this one, our composition notebook. This one was from Office Depot, and I really like it because it was flexible. It's not as flexible on the outside anymore since we've covered it, but as you can see, it's still gonna lay pretty good. I think it came out so cute. It's such a pretty book. It feels really nice. It's really pretty. It doesn't feel weak. I mean, it's pretty strong. The paper from this paper book is so pretty. And again, that was from Park Lane. And you can get this one right now, I believe, at Joann's. And I mean, it's really pretty. It also had, I think, a sheet of, I think it was vellum in here. That was really pretty. Actually, I think I have a piece of it right here. Yeah. So it had a sheet of this in here as well, but my daughter used that to make a card. And some of these pages in here are like more like a cards. It's more of a heavy duty paper cardstock than these ones back here. Like they're a little bit more. They're still strong and thick, but this one's just a little bit heavier weight. It feels a little bit more stiff to me. It might be the same, but it feels a little bit more stiff to me. But it's such a pretty book. The paper is so pretty. The texture on it is really nice. Yeah, I really like this one a lot. I think if you don't already have it, go get it, because this one's at Joann's, and it's so pretty. They got a lot of pretty ones right now. So this is it for now. I mean, it leaves a lot of room for you to still be creative and do all kinds of things that you want to do in here. That's it for this video, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one.